He cheated on Valentine's weekend. I delivered the breakup to his conference room. The tracking notification on my phone turned green at exactly 10:14 a.m. Package delivered. Front desk. 42nd floor. I sat in my car, parked 3 blocks away from the gleaming glass tower where my husband, Mark, built his ego brick by brick, and I felt a cold, jagged smile stretch across my face. It wasn't a smile of happiness. It was the rictus grin of a woman who had just pulled the pin on a grenade and was waiting for the shockwave. Inside the package wasn't a set of golf clubs or a new watch. It was a spring-loaded, battery-operated dispersal device filled with 4 pounds of industrial-grade, ultra-fine biodegradable glitter. Neon pink and black. The kind of glitter that professionals call the herpes of the craft world, because once it touches you, it never, ever leaves. But the glitter was just the delivery system. The payload was buried underneath the sparkle. I took a sip of my coffee, which had gone cold an hour ago. I didn't care. My body was vibrating with a frequency that felt like a high-tension wire snapping in the wind. I imagined Mark walking out to the reception desk. He would be wearing his navy blue suit, the one I bought him for his promotion last year. He would be strutting. He loved receiving packages at work. It made him feel important. It made him feel loved. He would see the box. It was massive, heart-shaped, and obnoxious. I had plastered it with stickers. Open immediately. I love you. He would think it was a grand romantic gesture. He would think I was desperate to rekindle the spark he had stumped out with his Italian leather loafers. He would carry it into the conference room, where I knew, thanks to his shared Google Calendar, he was currently pitching the biggest client of his career. He would put it on the mahogany table. He would smile at the client, a man named Mr. Henderson who hated interruptions and loved efficiency. He would say something charming like, "My wife, she spoils me. Do you mind?" And then, he would lift the lid. I checked my watch. 10:17 a.m. He was opening it right now. To understand why I nuked my marriage with a craft supply, you have to understand last Tuesday. Last Tuesday was normal, boring, even. I was making lasagna. Mark was working late again. He had been working late a lot recently. The Henderson account, he'd say, loosening his tie and pouring a scotch the second he walked through the door. "It's a beast, Sarah. You have no idea the pressure I'm under." I believed him. I was the good wife. I rubbed his shoulders. I kept his dinner warm. I ignored the fact that he smelled faintly of a perfume I didn't own. Something floral and cheap, like vanilla body spray trying to be Chanel. Then, he went to shower. He left his iPad on the kitchen counter. It dinged. I usually respect his privacy. I really do. But the screen lit up, and the preview message wasn't from a client. It wasn't from Mr. Henderson. Sender, Jessica, work. Subject, forward, reservation confirmation, the Ritz-Carlton. Preview, can't wait for our Valentine weekend, baby. I bought that red thing you like. The lasagna tray slipped from my hands. It hit the floor with a wet, heavy slap. Tomato sauce splattering across the white cabinets like a crime scene. I didn't clean it up. I stared at the iPad. I knew the passcode. It was his birthday. 0422. I unlocked it. I didn't cry. That's the thing people don't tell you about betrayal. When it's total, when it's absolute, you don't weep. You freeze. Your blood turns to liquid nitrogen. I opened the email. There it was. A reservation for a king suite at the Ritz-Carlton for February 13th through the 15th, Valentine's weekend. Guest name, Mark Stevens. Additional guest, Jessica Miller. Jessica. I knew Jessica. She was his executive assistant. She was 24. She had come to our Christmas party wearing a dress that looked like it was painted on. She had hugged me and said, "Mark talks about you all the time." She was sleeping with my husband. I scrolled. I didn't stop at the email. I went to the photos. There were selfies. Him and her. In his office. In his car. In our bed. That was the kill shot. A photo of them, tangled in my sheets, taken on a day when I was visiting my mother in the hospital. What happens in the next 5 minutes inside that conference room is going to be legendary. But you need to understand the layers of this trap that I have prepared for Mark. He will be dealing with the glitter storm of the century. Dave, which is fiancé of Jessica, will be receiving a text message from an anonymous number containing a very interesting photo of his bride-to-be. By the time the dust, or the glitter, settles, Mark won't just be fighting a divorce. He's going to be fighting to keep his teeth. To know full story, kindly follow on screen instruction.